Hey guys, thanks for joining me, and if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hi friends, welcome to Sharp Ends. Today I'm going to talk about the six knives I've been carrying the most this last month, and my flashlight. It's a reoccurring segment where I just kind of go through what have I actually been carrying this month the most. So first, I think I'll start off with the biggest piece of news, and that is I live in Pennsylvania, and now, thanks to Governor Wolf and the legislatures, automatic weapons are allowed. It used to be a switchblade banned, and this was the switchblade. This little SBR Pro Tech knife made by Les George was a switchblade, and therefore I wasn't allowed to carry it. But now I am, starting as of January 2nd. So I've been carrying my automatics out, and mainly this little guy to kind of get used to the fact that I can actually carry one out, because this is pretty non-threatening. This has the Ultem show side scale. Yeah, it's a beautiful little piece. I absolutely love this knife. And so I've been carrying this around just to kind of get used to what it feels like to actually be able to carry an automatic. Before, I had to have it in my house as a curiosity, I tell you, and now I can just have it as a knife. So that is awesome. Next, I've been carrying this Shadow, which I got somewhat recently, and I've done a review of. And I was carrying this mainly to do a review, but also because it's super slicey, and it's super thin blade stock. It's got very nice finishing points to it. The G10 is great. This milling pattern is fine. I don't mind a nice black knife. Choking up on it is great. It's basically like a supersized nerd, if you know that knife from Three Rivers Manufacturing. This is 20 CV. Absolutely nothing wrong with Three Rivers 20 CV steel that's 3/16 inch wide here at the spine and is heat treated to 6162. This stuff is really great. I just actually sharpened an Atom, same steel, same company, and it was a joy to sharpen, and it came out super slicey. It's got this bar lock here, which is great. Only knock on this is that with my meaty palms, and I talked about this in my review, it kind of comes up here, and the tip of this blade goes all the way down right here. And so if I'm not careful, when I close it, I accidentally cut myself. That only actually ever happened on my unboxing video. And after that, I got used to it right away. Just something to note. So the Shadow, this right now is unobtainium. Very hard to get one of these on the website. But if you keep looking and you keep clicking, you will get one. I did. Next, I customized this knife with the Lotus scales from Flytanium. It's 90 CV. I got it from DLT. It was $135 with ply, peel ply, green textured scales, and I took those off and I put on these, and I also took these scales and I put them in a bath to knock off some of the sheen, to put a little bit more patina on them. And I put this deep carry clip on it from from Lynch Clip. Great. So S90V steel, which is awesome steel, DLC coated. And then I also put on this compression made easy, CME by OCD for EDC. That's a lot of letters there, but it's the anyway, I did a video about this compression made easy. It's basically just a little tab that's add here for the compression lock. Some people hate them and some people like them. I like them. I think it makes it easier and nicer to deploy this knife. I really like wearing this knife around as my dress knife. It adds a little bit of weight to it, honestly, which is fine. I don't mind having a knife that, is a little bit heavier in the hand. It feels nice. It looks nice. It's just a great knife to have around. I'm always usually carrying one of my Demcos. I currently have 3. This one was customized from Way of Knife, and it was customized with the Mars Attacks theme movie. I asked them for a sci-fi theme, and they came up with Mars Attack. So they did the McNasty finish on the clip, and then they did this lettering here. This is the 3V version with the mid-tech gear. So this is a great Demco. I have 2 other Demcos, which I carry a lot too. But this month I was really trying to carry this guy just because of the feel of it. And I was kind of making this into a safe queen because it had been customized. But then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use it. This is too nice of a knife not to use regularly. So I have been using it. Haven't scratched it yet. and I think it looks awesome. So that's been a fun knife to carry. I do a lot of snowboarding, and if you're a friend of the channel, you probably heard me mention that before. Last year I had an Arroyo, Artisan Cutlery Arroyo, which I used as my knife of choice for when I went out on the hill. This year, I'm just taking this little guy. This is a Jester by Spyderco in 4V, which is a totally ridiculous steel. This is a really super small knife, and it's all I need when I'm snowboarding. I tend to not need a knife at all, but it's nice to have one just in case. This is pinned shut, so you can't even open it up to clean it or anything, but it's a $50 knife. It was a special with Smoky Mountain, I believe it was. Smoky Mountain Knives. This is really cool. You can put your finger on here. It has a little bit of jimping on the nose. Has some jimping right here, so you can hold it right there, right? It's the smallest knife I own, probably, that I carry regularly. It's super, super, super sharp. And of course it's Spyderco and it's 4V, so you know that the heat treatment must be great. But it's kind of also just hilarious that such a tough steel like 4V is being used on a little pocket chain knife. It's connected currently to this little flashlight as well. This is the Fenix EO3R, which I actually have some problems with this flashlight. I don't think I've actually done a review of it, so maybe I should. But it is rechargeable. It has a red light as well as a regular light. Big problem with this is that it doesn't have a lockout. I need to double check that. But from what I remember, and the reason I don't like this is that it tends to turn on in my pocket and run the battery down real fast. So anyway, I have been, however, carrying this OLight, and this is that one piece of gear. So I have 6 knives, but I just wanted to do a shout out here. I just did a review of this Arkfeld. This laser flashlight, it comes in really, really handy at work with the laser portion of this and the flashlight portion of this. It's just super cool. Square flashlight that fits in my pocket. The battery lasts forever. Check out the review if you want to learn more about it. And then finally, this fixed blade is really something that I play with every weekend, every time I go outside or I make a fire. I'm using this guy right here, and this is my Bravo that I got for myself for Christmas. Bark River knives, MagnaCut LT, which means it's 3/16 instead of 1/8 inch thick. It's got the extra jimping ramp here, although you can get it without it. I got the shiny micarta, really sweet, sweet handle. It's not slick, actually. It's not slippery. Some people were asking me about that, but the ergodynamics are such that it just stays in my hand naturally. And then with the jimping on the thumb, I haven't used this in 90-degree weather for a full day out camping in the woods yet. So I did an interim review, and I'm going to do a long-term review once I actually take this guy camping. But right now I can tell you that I've been using it a lot. It's perfectly ground, perfectly still sharp. MagnaCut stays sharp forever, and I plan on taking this camping in the woods as well as sailing. So yeah, so those are my 6 knives. I've got the SBR from ProTech. I've got the Three Rivers Manufacturing Shadow. I've got the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 that I customized. I've got the Demco AD20.5. I've got the Jester from Spyderco. I've got the OLight flashlight Arkfeld, which I've been carrying a lot, and the Bark River knives Bravo 1 LT. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. If you like this content today, I'd really appreciate if you like or subscribe and tell someone. And if you didn't like this content today, I really hope that you tell one of your enemies about me, and maybe they will like and subscribe. But please just tell someone. All right, guys, have a good one, and I will see you next time on Sharp Ends.